Cipher Pro. If you have Cipher, is it worth upgrading? And if you don't have it, is it worth picking it up? Let's find out. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the new app by Ellusionist, Cipher Pro. So this is an upgrade on the Cipher app that was out a while ago. A similar app, completely redeveloped from scratch, so it's no longer a web app, it's an actual app you get in the App Store. So it's a new app and it allows you to integrate with lots of different pieces of applications or apps that are out there. So you can, if you have like a Peaksmith, you can integrate with that, or you can get some notifications to watches and those sort of things, as well as being able to integrate with other apps. Like Hydra is one of the other Ellusionist apps that you can like hook this up with. So that's what the app is. So we're going to go through, if you get this, what you get. So let's move on to that now. So what you get? Well, first you need to download the actual app from either the App Store or the Play Store if you're an iPhone or Android, and then also you need to buy a license from Ellusionist. So they have one for Android, one for iPhone. So whichever one you have, you buy that. That's what you get. So then you get it all installed, you register your license, and you get access to what you get. So you get basically a fake calculator app, Cipher, that allows you to do forcing of numbers. You get to force numbers, and then also with that you can do basically any routines you want. You can also peek the information you have the person input and all that sort of stuff. So you get that app, and you get in the back end, you can get into all the settings, so you can hook it up with all the things, so you can get URLs, so you can integrate it with Hydra, and then you also get access to the instructions. Currently there are still no video instructions, so I've had this a while now and there's still no video instructions. It says this coming soon, so there's just a PDF instructions that you get, which kind of go through setting up the app for the first time and a few examples of the routines that you can do, some of the basics routines you get with it. So that's kind of what you get when you get this Cipher Pro. So now let's talk about what the instructions are actually like. So I touched this on a bit earlier, so there's still no video instructions. They say they're coming soon, but they're still not here. There's been a few updates to the app as we've been going, but video instructions still aren't after coming in. The other thing you do get though is the PDF instructions, which go through setting it up and some basic routining and things like that. So I think they're waiting on the video instructions until the app is finished with some of the bug fixes and tweaks that people are asking for. But I think it would be cool to get some of them in as soon as possible, because I do think the video instructions can be really cool for this. So the instructions themselves, they're pretty clear. There's lots of screenshots and those sort of things with the PDF that you can get through. It might take a bit of time just to read through it to make sure you understand exactly what's going on. But with the PDF instructions, you're able to set everything up and get out going, especially if you've used Cipher before. So I find it difficult to try and like get out of my headspace because I have the original Cipher. So it's very similar, a lot of the setup things to going through it. So it's pretty clear to me what I needed to do. But for people who don't have Cipher, they might struggle a little bit, but it is all there. It's fairly clear. It's not that complicated for the basic functions anyway of setting it up. But I do hope that those video instructions do come soon so we can actually get into seeing it. So that's what the instructions are like. Let's move on to now whether or not this is a difficult trick to do. So with this not necessarily being a trick, it's a utility device that you can use for many different routines. So it's hard to say whether or not it's difficult, because some routines that you might come up with this could involve some difficult things, but the actual use of the app itself is not that difficult. It's fairly straightforward. If you have any sort of experience with magic apps, you pick it up pretty quickly, or even like any apps really. It's fairly straightforward to use. You can set up your forces and all your peaks and all that sort of stuff, fairly straightforward. Where you get into the other app integration, you might struggle slightly there, trying to get up to it if you're not used to that side of things. But the Facebook group is very helpful for people looking at that, so definitely make sure if you have this, go into the Facebook group on Facebook, and the developer Shamir is in there, and he is really good at helping people if they have any questions or if there's any bugs that they're having. He's really quick getting back to people, and as I said, they had done a lot of updates with that, so it's not that difficult to set up. And if you have any difficulties, the Facebook group is there to help you and get that answer as quickly as possible. So the next thing we're going to move on to is Steve's questions, because my co-host on the podcast, if you haven't watched, is Steve, and he always has the same questions for me whenever I get something new. So we'll move on to that now. So Steve's question, the first question as always is, will I do it? So I have been using Cipher since it first came out. It's one of my go-to pieces. I use it in a lottery prediction where the numbers that people randomly type in match a lottery ticket that I've handed out from the beginning. Is one of the things I do quite a lot with it, and I also use it for pre-show to get information. So I will just, it's kind of, I'll continue to do it. I have both apps still, unable to get the original Cipher now. It's no longer available. You have to get the Cipher Pro version if you want to pick it up. But it is on a very good price at the moment, so they have it on sale. So I think for me it was like €13 and something cent up there. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's on a very good price at the moment for introductory, because it's kind of a bit like a beta as well as what's going on, because there's some bug fixes still coming through, because with any app there's many devices, it takes a lot of time. So that's something. So basically, will I do it? Yes, I'll continue to do it. I might switch between them at the moment because while I'm waiting for things to get perfected, but I'll cover that later. But yes, I will be doing it. The next question is, am I happy with my purchase? I think for the price, that like the introductory price, I'm happy with my purchase. It was kind of advertised originally as, this is a price for Cipher users as like a reward, but now that's just the price on the website for everybody. So that's a bit annoying, because I made sure I bought it instantly, so I got it at the cheapest price, but it was on the website today and it's still at that price. So that's a little annoying, but I'm still happy to have it, because some of the new features with the integrations, especially with Hydra, I will use a bit. So I can see myself using that in the right situation. So I am happy with the purchase, but I did find that a little annoying that it isn't it was kind of sold as, because you're a Cipher user, you can get it early at a discounted price. But we got it slightly earlier, but it was only a few days, and then the price was the same. So that a little annoyed me, but overall I'm still happy enough with the purchase. The next thing is for Steve. Is Steve saying, should he get one? I don't think Steve should, personally, because Steve doesn't do a lot of app magic. So a lot of the new features would be around like the app integration. There's also any card, any number, which I don't see him using. So I think the original Cipher is fine for him, which he has, so he can just carry on using that, and it's still working on his phone. So until it stops working with changes in technology or upgrades and things, I'd wait off, because there's nothing new in it that he needs urgently when the original one's still working for him. So if you're in that boat, I'd say hold off, unless you want the other app integrations, or maybe because you want the any card, any number bit that's added into it, then pick it up for that. But if the original Cipher is all you're using and you're happy with that and it's still working for you, I'd wait until you run into some issues with that and then look at upgrading afterwards. So that's the way I'm feeling like that at the moment. And then the other thing, is there anything else like that out there? So, well, there's Cipher, and there are a few calculator type apps out there. You can see things changing, and of course there is just the toxic force. If you're just sticking with that, you can just do the toxic force. So there are similar things out there, but it's got its own unique place in the market, definitely. So those are Steve's questions, and I hope they help people. And the next one I'm going to move on to is frequently asked question that I've been seeing online. So the frequently asked question I've been seeing online is kind of like two parts. One I've already covered, is the question I've been seeing is like, is it worth upgrading? And I kind of covered that in the last section. So if you want the new features of the app integrations, or you want the sort of the situation where you want to hook it up with Peaksmith, or you want the any card, any number, then yeah, I think it's worth getting for upgrade. But if you just want to use it for the basic forcing of a number and peaking stuff, and your original Cipher is still working fine, I don't think you need to upgrade right away. Maybe something in the future. The only thing is, with the price being on sale at the moment, it might be worse. If you know you're going to upgrade at some point, I'd say try and get in now before the price does go up. So that's kind of a tough decision kind of to be made there. If you're happy with your current Cipher, I don't know how long it's going to stay working for with the upgrades of operating systems and just internet in general, and the price is low, so it's kind of a judgment call for you on that one. And the other question I've seen a lot of people is, how is the app itself? Is it working okay? So when it was first launched, there were a number of bugs with it. Mine was working okay. There was a bit of lagging and stuff sometimes on buttons, and the calculation on age was wrong originally, but a lot of that stuff has been fixed now. The only slight thing I have with it at the moment is sometimes the buttons aren't as responsive as I'd like them to be. So I'd be typing in like a year like 1982, and like it would come in like 982, so the one was missed for some reason. Something, it's kind of just it's hard to explain. It's kind of a feel or something that just isn't feeling right. I don't think any spectator would notice, as long as you just have to be careful to make sure that they don't make mistakes, because you can always run into issues with that. But I think overall the bugs are being fixed really quickly. So Shamir has been putting out a lot of the bug fixes quite urgently. There's a number of upgrades since I got it. So it is, at the moment, it works to get all the information you want. Maybe a little feel thing, but I don't know if that's just me with it. But I still think I wouldn't be too worried about performing it as it is at the moment. While with the issues that were there earlier on, I wouldn't have used it right away. But right now, I think it's at a good stage, and it will only get better with the new upgrades of people coming out from the Facebook group. So that's kind of where the app is at the moment. So now let's move on to the next bit. Is there anything I don't like about Cipher Pro? You might have sensed a few things throughout the review so far. So the instructions are annoying, because they say the instructions are coming. So I guess sometimes if people just like, they're not going to do video instructions, but if the video instructions are coming and people are buying it, why not have them ready? I get that it's an app and things are evolving. There's already new features and options in there. So maybe they're waiting for all that sort of stuff to be done before making the instructions, to make sure the instructions cover everything. But like, lots of people have apps like that and they just add on to the instructions after the release. So I think that would have been a better way to do it, even just having some basic video instructions, because it can be nice to watch someone go through the setup of an app rather than trying to go through screenshots, especially for people who aren't that computer savvy or tech savvy. Going through the sort of thing where it's a screenshot with arrows pointing, this does this, this does this, this does. It's a bit confusing and can be overwhelming for people, where being able to just follow a step-by-step process of all that sort of stuff in the video instructions. And also, the routines are good, and but a lot of the questions seen in the Facebook group and stuff are like, Joe, what is the Annie Caroline number routine really? Because like, it's written in the instructions, but I think it'd be nice to see people actually performing it for people. So the routines themselves, like the performance footage, isn't going to change based on upgrades to the app. So that stuff could be there. So I think that could be good. If they're going to release it, it would be nice to have the instructions at launch, because a lot of people now won't watch the instructions because they already have the app and they know how to use it and they've carried on. So if you're going to put in the time and effort of filming and editing and uploading video instructions, you might as well have them there when people buy the app. So, because now a lot of people aren't going to watch them anyway, because as we all know, people don't tend to watch instructions even when they are released, so it's going to be even less now. The other thing is the the feel at the moment. So I think I really like the thing on it, actually, I haven't mentioned it yet, but there's the Android view of it. So you can choose between the iOS calculator or an Android calculator. So it's not going to match exactly your Android calculator, but it just looks a bit different, which is nice just to have the option, which is great. So you might see it's in the thumbnail, the Android version, because I have an Android. You'll see the Android version in the thumbnail, so I took a screenshot of it and put it into the thumbnail, so you can see what that looks like. The iPhone one just looks like an iPhone, and there has been upgrades to how the numbers look and things, which still isn't right. I don't think people will notice it. It's more the feel and things like that I think I'm not quite there with at the moment. I thought the original Cipher had that very responsive, and this just seems to be a bit of a tactile issue. I don't know what it is with it, but they're the main things I don't like about it at the moment, but I'm hoping that they will be upgraded going on in the future. So rating, if you've watched one of my reviews before, then the rating, isn't like a score of 100 or a score of 5. It's kind of, what will this be for me, and how will I be performing this? So because I perform Cipher all the time, it is kind of an everyday carry with me. I have like a wallet style phone case, so I keep a lottery ticket in it. So my phone, I can do the lottery prediction anytime, anywhere. It's one of my caught in the moment performer routine. Cipher is just one of the things I go to, so it will continue to be that. I might still use I'm switching between them at the moment, just trying to get comfortable with the new one, but I will be switching over to the new one full time pretty soon. I think once the more bug fixes and things that come out, it'll be definitely the way to go. So I will be using it as part of my everyday carry and in gig situations, as long as everything starts getting better. So at the moment, I think professionally, I'll still probably use the original Cipher for now, because I'm not having any issues with it. It's working for me fine. I know it's not for other people, but it's working for me fine, and everything, I'm just used to it now. While with the other one, I'm still trying to, those tactile things that I have been rehearsing with, and I have been missing numbers and things like that, so I don't want to have that happen in performance. So I will be using it in my non-gig situation, but I'm hoping to be able to switch it over fully in future. So that's kind of where I see it. It will be kind of an everyday carry and close-up environment and pre-show. And for people who use it, it is something great for pre-show. You get all the information in like if you're doing a close-up thing and then you're going to perform on stage later at like a wedding or a corporate event. It's a great thing to get everybody's information at the drinks reception or before the stage show. Have all their information, all this information about them that nobody knows. You go up on stage, you can absolutely fry them. So this will be something I will be using everywhere. It's just such a great idea, and it's hopefully it'll just get better and better now that it's open and it's completely been rebuilt from scratch, so that they are able to manage it themselves in house with their new team at Ellusionist. So that's my rating for it. It will be something I'll be using all the time, and let me know what you think of it. That's the review of Cipher Pro. Do you have it? If you do, make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you think of it. Have you any of the same concerns as me, or any things that I might have missed? Let me know what you think. And also, if you like this, please give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel. We have podcasts every week, and we also have reviews and clips from previous podcasts in case you've missed them. So they're all coming up on the channel. I've got a load of new stuff that I've just bought that's on the way. It's going to be reviewed coming up very shortly. Like Unhanded is one thing I'm hoping to get out in the next week, hopefully, fingers crossed, and a few more things, as well as some other tricks that maybe a bit older that I really like, or things that I just didn't pick up and I've picked up recently. So they'll be coming up on the channel as well. So if you like it, make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when everything comes up, and hope to see you again here very soon. See you next time.